After his period of prayers, meditations, as holy as discrimination towards others, his anger towards others, his anger to himself, something changed his attitude. Noodles Glenwood's attitude towards his own life had undergone a type of change. He was adjusted to his surroundings better than he had been. He had always had trouble adjusting to peer groups. Poor Noodles Glenwood. He had shown improvement over the last few months. He's been more stable. He has been more stable. His girlfriend, Tippy Fedrick, she too had been enjoying a period of greater stability in her life. With reporters, with Noodles Glenwood, she was pregnant, perhaps with tempered faults in her life. She'd had many abortions and miscarriages and had an absolutely repulsive child from a previous relationship, one whom Noodles was fairly wary of. Well, Noodles knew it was going to be grating and painful for him to help raise an exceedingly difficult, miserable person, the son of his girlfriend, Tippy Fedrick. Yet, man, he's never going to take responsibility for other people. Noodles Glenwood was beginning to realize the truth. He was a nobody. He was a lousy little sucker who moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As he adjusted to his surroundings in Pittsburgh, he encountered all sorts of people. There were no judgments that could be made. No decent person judges people for anything they do or did. Noodles had to learn to stop judging others. He needed to stop thinking. Tippy Fedrick was pregnant, with no doubt about it. Noodles Glenwood, little fetus. And she'd had an affair with Zarko, but they conversed, and Tippy talked to Noodles frankly. She is pregnant to Noodles and not to Zarko. She would know. Zarko had a deformed foot and walked with a weird gait and had a huge bulbous forehead. She was not pregnant with Zarko's baby, even though they had had an affair. She was pregnant with Noodles' baby. It was Noodles' responsibility to marry Tippy Fedrick, be a good father to his baby, and be a good surrogate father to Tippy Fedrick's god-awful 13-year-old son, who was already showing signs of psychosis and antisocial traits. Just like happened in so many families. The best of intentions, sick people have a child and go forward attempting, long before the two people realize they're both mentally ill. They're trying to be fit parents when they can only be unfit. There's no chance of them becoming good at parenting. They can only be terrible at it. They can only be child and spouse abusers. That's what happened to poor Noodles Glenwood in Zanesville, Ohio. And then he moved to Pittsburgh and went through all this shit with all those people. He was sodomized by a person he thought was his friend, Zarko. The same man who had an affair with Tippy Fedrick, Noodles' girlfriend, and poor Noodles Glenwood was gaslighted into believing it was his fault that Tippy had an affair with Zarko. But Tippy even was able to cause Noodles Glenwood to feel guilty as if he had not done enough to help her raise her idiot son when in fact they'd only been dating. They had only been intimate for 6 weeks. They had known each other for like maybe half of a year, For 6 weeks of that, they'd been intimate. because he wasn't doing anything about Roy. Tippy's a horrible, god-awful piece of shit. Took a previous marriage, and she was pregnant with Dylan's baby. Noodles Glenwood was going to marry Tippy Frederick. She did. They married. They had a beautiful ceremony. That stupid asshole that met Chief Bard, the one with the bogus comic book, recognized in all 50 states, bogus. Minister of the Church of Life. Yeah, you get to be a minister of this goddamn church. People have been pulling this stuff forever. They can marry people. They can declare they are a minister. It's an ordained minister license that you get for $10. The game still persists to this day. I've planned a test. I don't mind people. I never did. Yes, I did. Fuck me, I lied. I just remembered. I didn't lie. I just forgot. I forgot that I registered as an ordained minister of the Church of Life. If I remember correctly, that's what the comic book scam is called. I never utilized it. I never told anybody I was a minister. I thought of doing it. But there was this asshole everybody knew from Chief's Barn. He was telling everybody he was an ordained minister, and everybody liked this idiot. I liked this bastard. He got to be friends with that stupid loser Noodles Glenwood. And Tippy Fedrin. He even spoke to Tippy Fedrin. Asshole 13-year-old kid, that little bastard. He was turning around other people's lives. Tippy had borderline personality disorder, and she related to sick assholes like Florence Nightingale of the sick. She was like the antimatter of Florence Nightingale. She was a sick person who added to contributed. If people were healthy, their minds should induce sickness and confusion. In others, she was doing it to poor Noodles Glenwood. That bastard he met at Dee's bar, the one who gave Noodles the hassle about his hairstyle. Jesus God, that was cruel. That bastard had been gaslighting poor Noodles from the day he met him. Noodles was much too trusting and helpless to realize he was being gaslighted by that brute, that dilettante, that muscular, powerful, manipulative dilettante, Zarkut, by that miserable, cruel, toxic genius, Boladoga. My God, poor Noodles Glenwood thought he'd made friends with an important intellectual. He thought he was lucky to have met that charlatan Boladoga. He got a job. He tried to be responsible and hold a job at that miserable restaurant on Carson Street, at which he made small amounts of money and which chided for being imperfect. I'll talk more about this later.